Hi, my name's Steve Walsh and we're going to talk about a paper that Steve Mann and myself have been working on called Doing Reflective Practice, a Data-Led Way Forward. In this very short talk, we'll tell you a little bit about the background to the paper, some of the ideas we're trying to put forward and how this might be relevant to you as teachers and teacher educators.
Hi, my name's Steve Mann from the University of Warwick, and as Steve says, we're talking about the paper. I think Steve looks a bit like Michael Caine on that last shot. As Steve says, we're trying to say a few things about our paper. One of the things that we're interested in is reflective practice and its origins. So you'll find out a little bit about Dewey and Schoen and this idea that we can escape from the routine and the impulsive by thinking about what we do. There's nothing particularly new about reflective practice, but what we're trying to do is revisit it and perhaps look at ways of using data and particular tools to get a little bit further with it as a concept and to make it more data-led.
So many of you as teachers and teacher educators will have had some involvement in doing reflection, in being reflective, as part of a training course, as part of a program that you've run perhaps. And the thing we're trying to say to you is why bother with reflection once you've got a job, once you're actually out there teaching or involved in teacher education. We believe that there are ways of making reflection a key part of your job without imposing extra demands on your time and making your job even more demanding than it already is.
So one of the reasons why it's good to have this opportunity is the Eltj is read by teachers, and we still believe that reflective practice has an important role to play for teachers, but we think there are certain problems with it. It tends to be presented as though it's principally an individual thing, and we think, yes, it can be, but it's often much better if it's done collaboratively. It's often seen as a written thing, and again, we think it's perfectly a good idea to write a journal, but we think that there are other tools and ideas which make it a little bit more collaborative and perhaps spoken. And we think that it can be more systematic and more data-led. So those are kind of our key points for making it more relevant to teachers.
So the paper that's in the Eltj, which some of you may have read by now, is actually part of a longer project which we're involved in, involving other papers, conference presentations and a book. And so when we talk about evidence and data, we mean things that naturally occur as part of your own teaching or teacher education. So data and evidence could be things like a piece of work that the student's done, it could be a test score, it could be a recording of a classroom, it could be even a conversation with a colleague or a student. So these are things that naturally occur in your own practice. They're not things we're asking you to do on top of what you do in your teaching.
So the key points for us are, can we make reflective practice a little bit more data-led? Can we make it a little bit more dialogic and collaborative? Can we make it a bit more systematic? Are there particular tools that we can use which make it more concrete or easier? And that's where you come in, because one of the purposes for us in writing this article is it communicates to you as teachers, and you may come back to us with particular things that you found helpful or particular tools that you found have helped with getting further with reflective practice. We'd be interested in hearing from you.